Hey guys, Sergeant Mellon here, and today I want to talk about what I want to see in the new Battlefield, also known as Battlefield 5 or Battlefield 2018. There's already been a lot of speculation that it will be a World War II themed game. One of my biggest fears is that it will be a Battlefield 1 game, almost reskinned. Now, I don't personally want to see that. I know a lot of people enjoyed Battlefield 1. It was a financial success for EA, so why would they change their formula up? Now, I got my start with the Battlefield series starting with Battlefield 1943. That was the first Battlefield game that I owned. But I remember when I was younger, I would go over to my friend's house and play Battlefield Bad Company 1 and Bad Company 2. And I just remember it being one of the most fun games, comparable to Modern Warfare 2 and the original Modern Warfare. And I remember spending a lot of time playing Battlefield 3 and 4 as well. How can I ever forget playing Team Deathmatch on North Shore Canals, or playing Conquest on Siege of Shanghai? And that focus on the modern military shooter has been Battlefield's game, up until Battlefield 1. And I've learned to love Battlefield 1. I put the most hours in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, around 500 to 600 hours each. And honestly, I didn't get that same thrill when I started playing Battlefield 1. I just recently picked it back up. And I think most of the player base that has been generated from the modern military-themed games like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 can all say the same. The shift back to World War I isn't very popular. Games like Call of Duty and even Battlefield have their roots in World War II shooters. While Battlefield 1 hasn't been the best Battlefield game, in my opinion, or the one that we've gotten from DICE, I think it does have some positive aspects that it's improved on since Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. For example, the suppression in Battlefield 3 and even Battlefield 4 was almost unbearable. The visible screen shake is very noticeable, and in Battlefield 1 the suppression is more of a shading thing now. Also, the lighting in Battlefield 3 was ridiculous. The entire environment was very dark, but any kind of light source, such as the sun, would provide a blinding lens flare. It was almost too realistic. It kind of took you out of your video game experience. Also, the user interface is a lot more friendly in this game. I think they put a lot of thought into the animations, like when you spawn into the game, it kind of zooms in instead of fading to black like in Battlefield 3. That being said, I really think they can do a great job with Battlefield 5 if they listen to the community. Looking back at Battlefield 3, one of the reasons that game was so popular and I remember enjoying it so much was the fun gunplay. There was no focus on grenades. Grenades were so easy to avoid, and you only had one instead of two, like the V40 minis that they added in Battlefield 4. And if you needed to use a grenade, you had to think it through. Maybe you used it to flush an enemy out of position, or you used it as a distraction to flank your enemy. Whatever you used it for, it wasn't to clog a whole entire hallway up and to stop another team's progress, or a whole entire squad's progress. The guns also had a much more predictable time to kill. In Battlefield 1 with the new damage model, it's almost hard to predict when the guns would kill your enemy. I would also like to see a lot more customization in the next Battlefield. Battlefield 1 was a little lacking when it came to customization compared to what we were used to in Battlefield 3 and 4. There were no scopes, there were no attachments and no grips. The skins were also very lacking, and I'm not a big fan of the loot box system. It kind of took away the value of certain skins and the whole entire trial and error process of earning them. Like in the days of Modern Warfare 2, when you had the blue tiger, the red tiger, and you just felt good because you knew you earned it. And when you saw another player with the higher level skins, you were like, wow, mad respect to that player for earning that skin. I would also like to see more variation in the weapons in Battlefield 5 from launch. Battlefield 1's launch was also very lacking in terms of content with regard to weapons. When you have the same weapon and 3 different variants but don't alter the stats at all, I don't consider that variation. That's more of an illusion of customization. I'd also like to see more destructible maps, similar to what we got in the Bad Company series. During the move from Bad Company 2 to Battlefield 3, we lost a lot of the destruction that we got in Bad Company. And I know there are arguments both ways, pros and cons. For example, if you have a very destructible map, the natural lanes that are designed in that map kind of get destroyed and erased, but that's part of the fun dynamic that you get from any Battlefield game. It also allows players to come up with more creative strategies to take out their enemies. And I really do hope they keep operations. I know the Battle Royale craze is going crazy right now with how profitable Fortnite is and the popularity of PUBG and Radical Heights, but I think Operations was a great rebranding of Rush. It took Conquest, one of the most popular game modes, and combined it with Rush, one of the most popular game modes for Battlefield. I also like how it was used to tell stories about World War I. Now, if the game is a World War II themed game, I think they have a great opportunity to highlight very famous battles like D-Day and Okinawa and Iwo Jima, but they also have an opportunity to highlight battles that may not be as well known, but may be as equally enjoyable. While we're on the topic of game modes, if they do include a Battle Royale game mode, I don't want it to be the main focus of the game. I would like for it to be another game mode that we can browse for in the server browser. As of today, May 17th, one of the biggest taglines for the Battlefield 5 leaks and speculation is never be the same. I'm not a huge fan of change, but I do recognize it's necessary to keep games fresh and to bring new ideas to the table. I'm on board with any change DICE decides to make as long as they don't get rid of fundamental things that belong to the Battlefield franchise. For example, if they got rid of the Conquest mode, I don't know how I'd feel about that. There better be a good replacement for it, but they can't be changing all the core pillars of the Battlefield game. So that's pretty much all I'm expecting from Battlefield 5. They are expected to make an announcement on May 23rd, 2018, so go ahead and tune in for that. I'll go ahead and cover that as well. So go ahead and leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.